So, right. It's okay. It's okay, Roger. Roger, I've got you, Roger. I've got you, Roger. As long as I'm wearing these glasses for protection, my mum says, Roger, that I can watch this film. Okay, I got you, Roger. I got you. Oh, and he's gone. So, hello. And, oh dear, they're actually stuck in there. Hello, and welcome to tonight's episode of My Mum Said I Could Watch It. No, it's not. That's a real film that many of you would have seen quite legitimately in the cinema. This is House, 1986. Domestic sort of one that many of you might not know. So let's start with the premise. Then I'll thing where I'll get rocks out for goalposts. Roger Cobb is a horror writer. He's a horror writer who's inherited this house. This house has been the family house from his aunt. He was living in this house before with his wife at the time and his son. His son has gone missing. The aunt dies. He's inherited the house to find out that the house is indeed haunted, or as we'll get into more, that it's a place where other beings can come in and out through the doorways of it. It's effectively a portal to various undead beings. He realizes this and feels that this is where his son is, so pursues his son through the house. Wacky hijinks ensue, a lot of slapstick. Norm from Cheers turns up and offers him a beer, offers to be his absolute bestie while really just getting in the way, until you realise that one of the spirits who has kidnapped his son is actually a colleague of his, a frenemy, total frenemy from his days in Vietnam. Hijinks ensue, son is found, his Vietnam trauma is processed, and everyone's happy at the end. It's a film that I would have seen 86 is what it says. Now, my main memory of it, I would have seen it probably late 86, the EV video range, because I remember seeing the trailer for this way before I saw the film. Watching the film now, at the time when I saw it, the main thing that resonated was I sat there, I didn't care about the ghosts and the ghoulies because they look amazing and just cool. I just sat there and went, this house is just goddamn huge. The house that I lived in at the time was the house I grew up in, was terrace house in South London. We didn't have a garden, we had a yard. And we had two toilets. Technically, we had two toilets. One of them was outside. It was literally like an outhouse built onto the side of the house. We never got a sink fitted, but Dad was very proud of the fact that we had that toilet outside. There was just something about the toilet. The more I think about it, the more I just think of Razzle and Sigs. It was that kind of toilet cubicle. My family was a bit more aspirational than that, if not materially. Don't get me wrong, not that I'm complaining. Alright, right now, if I sit here and I complain to you about the fact that the bathroom is being done, many of you would feel sad for me. If I point out that I've missed out a word and it's in fact the upstairs bathroom, all I can say is Tom Meyhew is banned from the comments. So that's where I live now. The story does make a lot of sense, and it is really, I mean, I loved it for the slapstick and obviously the supernatural beings. As a theme of an author, someone who is a Vietnam vet, processing that, the stuff at the beginning where they just go, you know what, Vietnam's over, no one really interested, really hit me. Really absolutely hit me. COVID, no one had fun. We were Shieldy McShield House. I didn't leave this property. I didn't go as far than the garden for 138 days. I wrote a diary, and that diary, which I still really don't have it in me to read, is about 476 A4 pages because it's online. And one of my main memories in this post-world was going into a charity shop with a face mask on as we were getting stuff, rid of stuff, still very much bereaved. I passed away. And just having the salesperson see me wearing the mask and go, COVID is over. So that hit. That absolutely hit for me. the sense of the logic of the house, or rather that these things exist. Yes, of course, there's no logic in magic, but while Roger is being pursued by one particular demon, he knows that there's a room of flying utensils that can kill him. He opens that door, and those utensils then immediately fly into the other being. So it's not like a cohesive conspiracy against him. These are these disparate elements attacking within the house. The turnabouts, the conversations with the estate agents. It's the comic timing is hilarious. There's one scene in particular where there's a monster in a closet that I think would have totally gone past me at the time, because he's a Vietnam vet. He realizes there's a monster in his closet. How is he going to prove this? Gets all the cameras ready and gets his army gear ready. And you have the comical military music running, and he overacts in a sense of just having it up in terms of how he jumps, rolls, and everything, like, basically like a paintballer who looks like me. And now I watch it and I go, this is just a guy being daft. Whereas at the time I was going, yeah, that's totally what he would do. Because at that time I was 11. So he was doing what I thought was correct for an adult to do. Now I look at him and I think, paintballer. George Wendt, who incidentally, connections to horror. If you haven't seen Reanimated the musical, he really stole the show in Edinburgh. It has a basement. That wasn't one of his, but I just got a ukulele up my ass. That's another good one, but we're here about House. Plays the hapless guy who just wants to do good and has just got a lot of heart and just wants to be there, man. Just wants to be there and support the guy, and it's just really frustrating for Roger. You can see him going like, I need you, but just do the thing I need you to do and don't go off on everything else but doing that. Richard Wright is banned from comments. I'm joking. He's probably got this video saved and he'll mean to get around to watching it. The wife and the lady next door, he's plagued by supermodels, obviously. I feel so much for his pain. Who he's split up with, and of course, your child has disappeared, so that is gonna hit the marriage. The lady next door, though, I gotta say, turns up with her son, probably even younger than Roger's. Now, I've been trying to avoid doing this, but the kid's under 5. Your next door neighbour you don't know is going through a divorce because his son is missing. You leave your, at best, 5-year-old child with this complete stranger. Your kid goes running around that house. While you're there, the stranger has taken him to the bathroom, comes out, your child is crying and going, oh, it's okay, he just needed to go pot. So you think this is all absolutely fine. Go out for wherever you were going, Ma, and come back and your child's now in their pyjamas and has had a bath. All of this is ruined. No. I've got all the flags. I'm semaphoring all over the place. For that, I was just going, how? If we put that element of common sense aside, the slapstick is great. The pacing is kinetic, and the film is incredibly dense. You are in not so much a haunted house, but a magical house. You can see how this links in retrospect to House, the second story. The house is a doorways of imagination. Home invasions, all of those things that many of us have just looked around our own home and then suddenly gone, it's really totally done. The flashbacks to Vietnam are cheap as, cliched as, but even then, McBriar's motivation, and you know what, he looks amazing. This zombie vet looks absolutely amazing. You could take out all the supernatural elements and you could have made a film of zombie vet, and I'd have been totally in there. Popcorn. Alright, Roger Moss does a great job with it. The menace, the leer, the dissatisfaction, the lack of care, and the fact is there is a byline there. He is haunting Roger because Roger didn't kill him when he wanted him to, so he endured torture. it's a variation on, shoot me before I become a zombie, and he doesn't. It really works. It's the way the supernatural can be dealt with in mundane ways, as well as allows that perfect element of absurdity, um, while there is no sense to the magic in terms of its creation, what it does in exact rule. The fact is, you stab it or you shoot it and it's gone. Always is a winner for me. Do check this out. It's definitely one of the high points of doing this again. Brought back a lot. We didn't have stairs. We had half stairs. We had half stairs because of subsidence, right? I mean, as I say, I'm talking about 1986. Tom, you're still banned. 93 minutes. Check it out. Really worth it. It's on Shudder. It's general release on DVDs and so on. Totally holds up and worth your time. Thank you.